What we know so far about D4vd's alleged involvement in Celeste Rivas' death investigation. One of the most carefully watched investigations in Los Angeles this year is the death of 17-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose remains were found inside a Tesla registered to musician D4vd, David Anthony Burke, in early September. Due to a combination of official pronouncements, leaked information, and unresolved questions, the case's specifics have garnered significant public interest. The startling circumstances of the finding and the fact that the Tesla was linked to a rising star in the music industry have sparked national interest in the tale as detectives continue to examine the evidence and figure out how Rivas died. Based on verified reports, official agency statements, and information provided by news organizations like NBC4 and TMZ, the following is a thorough summary of everything that has been made public to yet. The inquiry is still ongoing, no charges have been brought, and the cause of death has not been established. Celeste Rivas' death is a devastating event that has left her community, friends, and family looking for closure, understanding, and answers. The most crucial fact is still the same as the investigation goes on. A young life full of promise and potential was cut short in circumstances that call for clarification. Every headline, story, and emerging lead has a grieving family going through something that no one should ever have to go through: losing a daughter, a friend, a sister, or a loved one. It is important to keep in mind that actual individuals are at the core of this story as the public watches the case develop. To ensure accuracy and justice, investigators are navigating a complicated timeline, examining digital evidence, evaluating forensic data, and adhering to established protocol. The absence of prompt responses is a reflection of how cautiously these inquiries must be conducted rather than an indication of negligence. It takes time to do forensic job correctly. It takes time to determine the cause of death. It takes perseverance, diligence, and respect for the process to piece together the truth. An increasing problem in high-profile investigations is highlighted by the speculation around the case, which is mostly fueled by social media. Relying solely on verifiable details and official declarations becomes even more crucial due to the abundance of information that circulates online, some of which is accurate and some of which is not. Rumors and misinterpretations merely exacerbate a situation that is already characterized by loss. They do not provide justice. One hope endures as the inquiry progresses, that the truth will be revealed, that Celeste Rivas' family will have the information they need, and that her memory will be respected. The emphasis should continue to be on patience, compassion, and respect for all parties involved until authorities have finished their task. A case that started with a missing adolescent. On the 5th of April 2024, Celeste Rivas, a young girl from Lake Elsinore, California, was reported missing. It would take months for officials to find her remains. Early reports state that her absence caused local anxiety, with friends and relatives voicing increasing concern as weeks passed and there were no answers. Although there were never any solid leads, the case never went cold. Then, in early September, things abruptly changed. The Tesla's discovery, an unsettling call from an impound lot officers from the Los Angeles Police Department, were called to a Hollywood impound yard on the 8th of September 2024, when employees reported an unpleasant smell emanating from a car. The Tesla in question belonged to musician D4vd, who was getting ready for his Withered World Tour at the time. Authorities discovered a troubling scene when they examined the car. Human remains were found inside the Tesla. The remains were positively recognized as belonging to Celeste Rivas, the missing adolescent from Riverside County. In a matter of days, police responded to the discovery right away. The case, which had started out as a missing person investigation, quickly evolved into a death probe and a more comprehensive investigation into how Rivas' body got into a car connected to a well-known singer. There is no official cause of death, but the timeline raises questions. Investigators started creating a timeline after verifying the remains' identity. Law enforcement apparently believes that Rivas may have passed away months earlier, possibly in the spring, based on early evidence. Nevertheless, this estimate has not been publicly verified by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner. Rivas' remains were given to her family by the medical examiner's office on September 23. Officials told TMZ that the cause and manner of death are yet unknown, pending toxicology reports, more analysis, and investigative findings. The LAPD has advised against public conjecture due to the absence of a certified cause of death. Detectives are clear: the inquiry is far from coming to a conclusion until forensic evaluations are finished. LAPD is unable to verify a source's claim of lack of cooperation. According to a person acquainted with the inquiry, The singer was not cooperative when investigators asked for information, according to NBC4. Authorities believe that someone may have assisted in moving or hiding the victim's body, according to the same source. This claim is merely a statement from an unidentified person who is allegedly close to the case. It has not been verified. A department representative refused NBC4's request for LAPD to corroborate the source's statements, citing the ongoing nature of the case and the inability of officials to comment on, confirm, or refute unsubstantiated claims pertaining to suspects or investigative specifics. The LAPD's cautious approach implies that investigators are working diligently and are reluctant to endanger the case by making snap decisions. D4vd, who is it? Comprehending the artist at the center of public examination. With songs like Romantic Homicide and Here With Me, D4vd, real name David Anthony Burke, became well known and amassed a sizable fanbase on streaming services. His songs became more and more popular with younger audiences, and he established himself as a rising alternative pop star. He was supposed to start his Withered World tour before the investigation started, but it has since been postponed. Burke has not made a public statement in spite of the investigation's increasing media attention. Although he is technically not required to publicly discuss an ongoing inquiry, his silence has garnered notice online. In Texas, property transfers are controversial, but no wrongdoing is suspected. According to court records that TMZ was able to get, Burke gave his mother ownership of 2 Houston residences soon after the inquiry began in September. Online watchers were intrigued by the transfer's timing, which coincided with the start of the death probe. Property transactions, however, are not proof of criminal behavior, even in the course of a high-profile inquiry. No agency has inferred criminality in relation to the transactions, and neither the LAPD nor other public figure has indicated that these real estate maneuvers are part of the inquiry. However, the timing still piques public interest. Execution of a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills property. A search warrant was served by LAPD officers at a Sunset Boulevard residence in late September, where D4vd was allegedly living before leaving for his tour. As reported by NBC4, investigators found computers, electronic gadgets, and devices for digital storage. What evidence, if any, was discovered on these devices has not been discussed by officials. It frequently takes weeks or months for experts in digital forensics to look at logs of communications, removed files, location information, connected cloud accounts, timelines of behavior. These results may be crucial in determining who used the devices most recently and whether they include information pertinent to the inquiry. The Tesla, a key factor in the case. The Tesla where Rivas' remains were found is one of the most important pieces of evidence. The movements, GPS data, charging sites, and digital logs of the vehicle, which was registered to the singer, could provide information about the last time the vehicle was used, where it went, whether it was parked for a long time, who could access it. From interior camera footage, for some models, to door opening logs, Teslas save a substantial quantity of data. It's unclear if investigators were successful in retrieving digital information. Before being seized, the car was allegedly parked close to a Hollywood Hills residence connected to Burke. The vehicle will probably be carefully inspected by investigators for trace evidence, fingerprints, DNA fibers, signs of the environment. Timestamps. Every component can add to a more comprehensive comprehension of the occurrences. A family awaiting responses. Rivas' family has kept quiet, concentrating on mourning and looking for solutions. Relatives who had believed the teen was still alive have been devastated by the period of her absence, which spans from April 2024 until her discovery in September. The family has refrained from discussing the ongoing probe in public. Closure and precise information after authorities finish their investigation are now their top priorities. A community split between speculation and support online, word of the case quickly spread, sparking a wave of theories, conjecture, allegations, false information. The public has been explicitly cautioned by the LAPD not to make judgments until the inquiry is finished. Unverified assertions have been amplified by social media, which has complicated the public discourse surrounding the case. Some of the singer's admirers have expressed astonishment and perplexity, advising others to avoid making snap judgments. Others have called on the artist or his representatives to be more open. The disparity in public opinion in the absence of formal accusations is indicative of the larger difficulty of high-profile investigations involving public personalities. Where the investigation is right now, no charges filed. According to the most recent data available, law enforcement has not yet named any suspects. No accusations have been made. There have been no arrests. The cause and manner of death are yet unknown. Analysis is being done on digital evidence. Leaked allegations have not been verified by the LAPD. Investigators continue to piece together what transpired, depending on science of forensics, digital forensics conversations, analysis of vehicles, reconstruction of the timeline. These procedures take time, particularly when dealing with complicated digital evidence and several jurisdictions. In conclusion, there are still a lot of unanswered questions in this tragic case. The investigation into Celeste Rivas's death has turned into a tragic and extremely difficult one. A case full of passion, conjecture, and doubt has been created by the combination of a missing adolescent, the finding of her remains in a vehicle connected to a public figure, and the absence of prompt answers. However, this is still evident. A youthful life was lost. A family is in mourning. An investigation is still ongoing. Authorities are operating in a methodical manner. Official conclusions have not been reached. For the time being, the public must wait for investigators to complete their job and for the medical examiner to ascertain the precise cause and manner of Rivas' death. Until then, the matter is still open and none of the accusations have been verified.